Walmart versus Target store brand candy bar edition.
Both Walmart and Target have their own versions of name brand candy bars now. Walmart dropped theirs at the beginning of this year, and Target recently followed suit. Walmart sells theirs both in packs and individually. Meanwhile, Target sells theirs in just these multi-packs for now. We'll compare their Snickers, their Twix, their Milky Way, and their Three Musketeers. We're going to start with Twix because they're my favorite. Walmart's is on the left and Target's is on the right. You can see that the cookie part of Target's is a lot lighter than that of Walmart's and your typical Twix bar.
Let's do Walmart's first. Yeah, I would say that one is basically identical to Twix. Now for Target's. Interesting, the caramel of this bar was definitely chewier or harder. Meanwhile, the cookie part of this almost like dissolved. It was kind of a strange phenomena. I'm not saying that this one tasted bad by any means, but the Walmart one is just way closer to an actual Twix bar. So when it comes to Twix, Walmart wins this round.
Now it's time for Snickers. Walmart's is again on the left and Target's is on the right. Just at first glance, the layers of Walmart's are much more defined than those of Target's.
Again, Walmart's first. So for this one, the nougat was very soft. There was a good layer of caramel, it was pretty soft, and the peanuts were there, they added that nice little salt. Now for Target's. So when it comes to Target's, just like with Walmart, the caramel and the nougat were very soft. The only difference I can really taste between this one and Walmart's is that the peanuts in this one are a little more like toasted or roasted, which with the nature of peanuts I understand could vary bar by bar. But other than that, these are very comparable. I think this round is a tie.
Moving on to Milky Way, Walmart's is on the left, Target's is on the right. These ones look pretty similar layer-wise, but Target's nougat looks a little bit more fudgy than Walmart's.
Again, we might as well do Walmart first. What really stuck out to me with this one is just how chewy and soft the caramel and the nougat were, alongside how good the chocolate itself tasted. I know this is a candy bar, but overall this one just had a really nice kind of fresh flavor. Like the caramel was chewy but also melt in your mouth, and the nougat wasn't dry. Now for Target's. Whoa. Okay, this bar actually just melted right in my mouth. Like, picture how cotton candy melts in your mouth. This was a similar experience. Not a bad experience by any means, but just very different from the Walmart one. Taste-wise though, I could definitely taste the nougat over the caramel in this one. If I was blindfolded, I might have thought this was just a Three Musketeers. This one's really hard because they're both good, but when I think of a Milky Way, I think of a little bit of chewiness, and Walmart's just had way more chewiness than the Target one. So when it comes to accuracy, I think I have to give this one to Walmart.
And finally, let's compare their Three Musketeers. Of course, Walmart's is on the left and Target's is on the right. Both look fudgier than a Three Musketeers. Target's almost looks more milk chocolate, while Walmart's looks like semi-sweet chocolate.
Well, we've reached our final one, Walmart first. This one says fluffy nougat bar, but it kind of resembled fudge more so. I mean, the taste was there, the chocolate was really good, but I'm not getting that fluffiness that a Three Musketeers would have. All right, and now for Target's. With how their Milky Way just melted in my mouth, I expected this one to basically do the same, but for some reason, this one was on the chewier side too. And the taste of the chocolate-wise, I would say it was very similar to the Walmart one. So I would say they're both not super accurate. Now, aside from the fact that they both don't have the same texture as the Three Musketeers, taste-wise, their chocolate was very similar. I feel like this one is a toss-up. So overall, I would say that Walmart's are more accurate to name brand, with I think the most accurate one being the Twix. Now, this isn't to say that Target's are a bad option. I just think that if you're looking for a copycat candy bar, Walmart is probably your better bet. I will say the most disappointing candy bar was Target's version of a Twix. It was just kind of strange for me how the cookie part turned into a powder, but even though it wasn't the most accurate, I kind of like this Target version of a Milky Way. The way it kind of just melted in my mouth was a fun experience. So with all that being said, have you tried any of these store brand candy bars? What do you think?